5 years ago or 6 years ago, I got in trouble in Casper. I got a felony. I got put in prison. I spent 45 months altogether in the prison system. So I got back out. I come back over here to the reservation. To me, I guess nowadays that since I've gotten here and realizing that, having a steady job and all that stuff like that, there's a lot of benefits to that. I've gotten married and I've got a child I got to look after now and all that, I've been, I guess, doing good as compared to my former situation, It has taught me a lot, I guess, what a person really thinks as to, where he needs to go in this life.
A lot of the tribes that did acquire casinos, it provided a source of revenue for the tribes as far as assistance, Indian Health Service assistance, and elderly, handicap, and welfare, education. So we thought we'd try to negotiate with the state.
The casino is doing really well. With the economic downturn, we start to feel it a little bit, but instead what's happening is instead of going to Las Vegas, people are coming here. And so we are keeping the money in the state, and it's actually benefited us, and our numbers are starting to increase. We currently have about 560 employees, give or take. Our turnover rate is not as high as it used to be, so we're retaining a lot more employees. And we are looking at adding an additional 50 when we have our hotel built.
I started in housekeeping and when I wanted to return to school, and I was looking for money to supplement my education. So I started here in housekeeping, and I worked through the second semester of my education.
As far as the casino goes, I look back at all the things when this place was just a hill, I got out of prison, like I said, I come back over here and there's a big building on the side of the hill there, the casino, I got a job here, I work in the Janaku Cafe as a cook, dishwasher, whatever,
The marketing director, Jackie Dorothy, also decided that she needed some help in her department with the chambers. We are members of 21 chambers in the state of Wyoming.
The casino was established to provide employment for the Arapaho people. And many of our tribal members have not held a steady job. And so we had to develop something so that an environment which encouraged work ethic, but also gave them a second, third, sometimes 10 chances.
She had asked me to come help, and with her permission, I went part-time into marketing. And eventually, I worked as a chamber coordinator for the Wind River Casino for about 1.5 years. And now, as of August of 2010, I've been working in marketing full-time, and I work as the marketing coordinator for the Wind River Casino and its properties.
And what we do is that when an employee quits, they are allowed to come back after 6 months. And then, to give you an example, is what was generally happening is somebody would be working, they'd get their first paycheck, and they'd quit. Then they would come back and say, oh, I made a mistake, I want my job back. And then they would get their job back, and then they would usually last then about 2 to 4 months, and then they quit again. On average, the third time that they came back, they would stay.
Having a regular permanent job at this casino here, has its benefits, it's pays not too good, but it's a regular job, It helps me pay my bills, it helps me realize that, life ain't no game.
People don't realize the impact the casino has had just on the minimum wage alone in our area. Even our restaurant workers, they make $8 an hour plus their tips. And if you go to any of the other restaurants in the area, they make $2 to $4 an hour plus their tips.
It's been a long journey for me. It's really helped me because I had a lot of people that supported me, that showed me how to do my job. I took the initiative and just continued to learn, and I continue to learn today and apply that to everything that I do.
We now have established loyalty to the organization, and there's a sense of ownership as well. This is our casino. It's not someone else's. It's not some person in Japan or some stakeholder. We are the stakeholders.
Well, in the beginning, when we first decided to, when I say we, this is the former, a lot of the councilmen before me, they kind of initiated this process. So when I say we, I'm referring to a lot of the council, past councils. And we initiated 3 public hearings, and then out of those hearings, there's different questions on how we would utilize the revenue. Education has been our number one priority throughout Indian country. So the board for the Sky People Higher Education come up with a idea where they would we would give them part of the revenue, a percentage.
Sky People provide scholarships for higher education learning, college students, vocational training, adult education. We do that kind of financial aid assistance.
A benefit for the tribal college is that that's where all our funding comes from. In their rules and regulations of how money is dispersed with the game, and there's a section there that deals with education, and that's how we're funded through the Wind River Casino, and that's 100% of our funding comes from the Wind River Casino.
How the funding from the casino came about was a resolution through the Business Council. They approved a 3% of the net profits for the casino to go into an Arapaho Sky People endowment fund. That fund is set up to fund our future generations because a third of our tribe is 25 and under.
Our relationship with the casino personnel is pretty good. We get along really well with the CEO, and they've always supported higher education. They've also, assisted us in other student projects that we've done here at the tribal college. They've assisted in some of our student travel to the American Indian Higher Education Consortium student conference in the past 4 or 5 years. And in one of our art classes, they funded that project, and currently our student artwork is hanging in the Red Willow Casino.
If we were not to receive those funds, our program probably would not exist. The money that we've received from the casino go to an investment account. We don't even touch that money.
And I think the future was going to look good for our children, our grandchildren, because that's what we're doing right now. We're looking, 15, 20 years down the road, for our tribes here on the Wind River, and in 10 or 15 years, we foresee, our own campus, and an enrollment about anywhere from 300 to 500 students.
The Indian Gaming Regulatory Act was an act that allowed for tribes to negotiate with the state for a gaming compact.
And so it was up to the Arapaho tribe and their attorneys to figure out a way to show that the state already was involved in gaming, even though it wasn't high stakes gaming as we see today here at the casino, but it was gaming in terms of casino nights in places like Cody and Evanston. There was pari-mutuel horse betting and those kinds of things that already existed. But the state didn't recognize that as being a gaming opportunity or hospitality business. So when the tribes came forward, the Arapaho tribe came forward to pursue that, they had to prove in the court that the state already was involved in gaming and the state was denying that.
But the state failed to negotiate, so we filed a suit against the state under the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act.
Part of it is that I think the reservation was never really recognized by the state government in so many avenues until we started raising the issues about tax, jurisdiction, and water concerns. And we were always, as a tribe, in a position of trying to uphold our position, which wasn't always the same as the state's opinion. So when the tribes moved forward to look into the gaming industry, it wasn't a surprise that the state was against the tribe doing something like that.
The state requested to have another hearing before a full 12-judge panel, and it was granted. Their request was granted, so we went before a 12-judge panel, and the outcome was 9 in favor and 3 against.
I have had some discussion with some state legislators, and they were interested in making some compacts with the tribes to have some gaming opportunities in Evanston and Cheyenne, close to 2 other state borders, Utah and Colorado. This was early on when I became the tribal liaison, but I haven't heard much discussion along those lines since. And the questions I do receive, though, are, well, how's the casino doing in sort of a downgraded attitude? And my upbeat response is, the casino is doing very well. We've got 600 people working. We've created a lot of opportunity for our younger people. Every person at the casino has now become a role model, and there's a variety of things that make the gaming and hospitality very positive here.
And the result of that, where the state failed to negotiate, there was no revenue sharing, where they won't be charged tax. And we were, and now we are the only tribe in the nation that is self-regulated.
I see us going international and becoming, one of the things, I'll back up real quick, is that if you look at the casino, we are one of the biggest attractions, and once we have our hotel, we're going to become a destination. And we will be the 3rd largest destination in Wyoming. Number 1 is Yellowstone, number 2 is Cody, number 3 will be us. That's our goal, and that's our dream, and it's starting to come true.
I think we need to start our own economic development, have our own enterprises expand, and then have our own shopping centers, our own stores, and then to assist a lot of our entrepreneurs.
I guess the second chance really comes from within, not from without, not from this. But it has its, I guess, potential to make one have a positive second chance if he really wants to pursue that. As a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people come in and out of here during my 15 months here. I guess in a sense of taking things serious. I guess you got to learn the hard way by experience in order to understand really what that's about. Second chance, yeah. It has, it's given me, I guess, positive outlook as to, where I need to be. And it has given me a second chance, I guess, And I hope that's the only chance it's going to give me is a second one. I don't want a third one.
Sky People's been in existence since 1979. That was an action through the General Business Council. So it's been in existence for over 30 years.
I think it really goes back a lot to my tribe, my people. I want something to be here for them, and we want to continue to build, and we want to continue to expand, and I say that as a tribal member, but I also speak as a mother because I have 4 children,